Meantime, to Queensland now, where there is a plan this weekend to shut down the Story Bridge. It's all to do with the same sorts of ferals that, well, hate everything, but particularly hate the idea of people who have failed asylum seeker tests, who were put onto Manus and Nauru, who then, of course, because of life-threatening medical issues, immediately had to come off, most of which didn't actually go to hospital. But instead of being released into the community, which of course was the whole point of Medevac, they ended up going to service departments. They're in service departments at Kangaroo Point. Now, because they are in those service departments, apparently that's like jail. So, as I say, there are plenty that are out there and planning to protest on Saturday. The Queensland Premier, fresh from standing in front of the barbed wire, getting you to be very scared about all of that virus that doesn't exist in regional New South Wales, said this today about the upcoming protest and how she will not let it happen.
Now is not the time to have mass protests. There are other ways that people can raise their concerns, and can I please stress to everyone, we are in a world pandemic. Queenslanders are doing a lot to keep each other safe, and this would have the potential to take us backwards. So the police will not hesitate to take action if it is necessary to stop this protest or to remove protesters if it goes ahead. I am please asking people not to go ahead with this protest.
But where were you when you were in charge of the same state, lived in the same city, and the same pandemic was around during Black Lives Matter? Oh, that's right, nothing. Nothing happened at all. Well, in Victoria, where of course everything is locked down nice and tight, there is also a plan for a protest. Now, these are apparently the anti-maskers, and just as I said BLM shouldn't be allowed to do it, the anti-maskers and their so-called Freedom Day wank shouldn't be happening either. The police, very clear about this. This selfish behaviour will absolutely not be tolerated. Be assured that Victoria Police will be responding and will take appropriate action. Which reminds me way back when, of course, of Daniel Andrews and the Premier of Victoria. What did he say after those BLM protests in Melbourne when 30,000 people were there during the first wave of the pandemic? Does anyone have a play button anywhere near? Do we have a grab of that? Well, I'll have to act it out for you. Guess what happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. Apparently there were too many people. And there were too many people to all simply lock up at once. But if there's too few people, we can lock you up and say, naughty, naughty, naughty. One rule for one rule for the other. All of this stuff shouldn't be acceptable at all.